Can you feel that? Yes, sir. Can you feel what's about to happen on this field, man? Can you feel what we about to get into, dog? And it ain't gonna be getting to ourselves. We're gonna dig into somebody else, man. So whenever you in that doggone game, whatever you gotta do to get whatever that's in you out to come out and play your behind off, let me get you. They don't respect us. They don't know what let's dominate this thing. Hold in on 3. 1, 2, 3, hold it.
All About the Birds welcomes you to the live pregame show.
Welcome, everybody, to the West End here in Quakertown. We are the All About the Birds Eagles pregame show as the Eagles take on the Raiders of Las Vegas. What is going on, everybody? How are we doing out there today?
We're doing great.
Cool. Good stuff. Good stuff.
Come on, West End. How are we doing today? You could do a little bit better than that.
Indeed, indeed. We got G saying, let's go. Richard saying, good day, folks. Tila live and in person saying, hey, hey, hey. So, again, we are the All About the Birds here at the West End, our home away from home. Cody's saying, nice jersey, Mike. We are all doing some throwback jerseys today. Talk about your jersey. Talk about your jersey.
Bobby Hoying.
Bobby Hoying. Johnny, you are wearing
Hugh Douglas.
Hugh Douglas, and I was given a Taquio Spikes jersey, but I'm glad that the computer is actually breaking it up, but I'll lean back real quick for the people. Go! Don't worry, G, we are going to talk about our predictions. And yes, Julie, indeed, let's fly. So here we go. We have kickoff in about 45 minutes. A lot of news has come out. I am Chip. This is Johnny. This is Mike, and we're going to get into it all right now. So let's start with the weather. What's it like out in Vegas right now? Does anybody know?
It's probably nice. I'm sorry, I printed the show sheet out earlier this morning, so I didn't have up-to-date weather, but it's Las Vegas, so I'm going to anticipate that the weather is delightful.
But they're playing in a big cover vacuum, so.
That's true. I don't know what the Vegas Stadium is besides a traffic nightmare as they play the game on the side as people are driving. But hey,
tell me how that's legal.
It can't be. But everything's legal in Vegas, so it can't be that big of a problem. All right. The line.
Who's back?
Got a hot mic up in here. I don't know which one it is.
I'm going to blame Johnny on that.
Yeah,
one.
definitely blame Johnny.
We
100%
just maxed
Johnny.
out the red on Johnny's mic.
Yep, sounds good. So the line, there you go. G is telling us that it is 72 degrees, and Richard is sharing that it's Vegas weather. It's good this time of year. It's probably hot. So we'll have to worry about cramping and all of that good stuff. The line right now, the line is Vegas by 3. Over under is 48.5 for my Gamblers Anonymous. There you go. That's what you need to know. Let's talk injuries. The official injury report is out. And Johnny, I know you want to get into details on this first one. Darren Waller is a Raider tight end. He is not playing today. What does this mean for these teams?
Well, you're going to have Foster Moreau. Foster Moreau, you're going to have, he's going to be and Mike told me, definitely watch out for him. He's not Darren Waller, but him and Bushman.
Guess got to get a little closer, Johnny.
But there's other inactives that are big. And I think Amik Robertson is another big inactive because he is their outside corner, which now he won't be. They have a lot of injuries at corner, which hopefully doesn't mean they're going to pass and pass.
That's absolutely what it means. It means pass, because that's all the Philadelphia Eagles do. As G is trying to speak into existence, Devontae Smith with a 100-yard game. But when you look at this Raiders team, they are one of the worst in the NFL at stopping the run. Unfortunately, the Eagles are one of the worst in the NFL at running the ball.
You're 100% right. They don't run the ball, and this is perfect. They need to run the ball. They need to give Miles Sanders the carries. We've been only saying this week in and week out.
Yeah, I mean, they got to run the ball. Miles Sanders has got to touch the ball. Now, here's my question, and Mike, I'm going to come to you with this.
Sure.
This is the first Eagles game without Zach Ertz. What does this mean for Dallas Goddard, for your favorite tight end on the roster, Richard Rodgers? What does this mean for this Eagles team as far as the tight ends go?
Richard Rodgers is a competent NFL tight end. He's obviously not as good as Zach Ertz was. He's not even half as good as Zach Ertz was. But the thing is, we keep saying you got to get the ball to Dallas Goddard. You got to get the ball to Dallas Goddard. Miles Sanders, they just don't do it. So we're talking about it's hot. We're talking about cramping. It's only a factor if you're running and staying on the field. So I'm more worried about the defense. what are they on the field for? Like 40 minutes a game,
It's
something
insane.
like that. And it's crazy. So I think the tight ends are going to be fine. I would love to see Dallas Goddard in the middle of the field all day.
Please. They like to run a lot of cover 3, and that always opens up the middle of the field. Perfect for Dallas Goddard. They need to exploit that. They need to be able to do that for Jalen Hurts. He needs to be able to throw in the middle of the field. You look at his pass charts, everything's on the outside. He needs to attack the middle of the field. If you want to be successful, you need to attack the middle of the field. And that's something that they have to do. This game, it opens up perfectly. It's perfectly for them to be able to do that.
I want to say one thing too. For a quarterback who doesn't have the best arm strength either,
Correct.
the middle of the field is where you should be attacking. So and here's the thing. You said they don't run the ball well. They actually do run the ball well.
They don't run the ball enough.
When they run the ball.
Yeah. Right.
So get some runs going. This is going to sound crazy. Line up under center for a couple plays.
No.
Attack the middle of the field. It's going to soften this defense up. Although I did hear on the way over here that the Raiders, I didn't catch his name, do have a slot corner that's pretty good. So I'm wondering how that's going to match up against Dallas Goddard. But
Nate Hobbs, he's really good.
think about this. Darius Slay covered Travis Kelce a lot when they played the Kansas City Chiefs.
Yep.
We don't have to worry about Darren Waller now.
No.
So
True.
we could put him on Henry Ruggs. We could put him on Brian Edwards, put him on Foster Moreau or
Hunter Renfrow.
Hunter Renfrow. Thank you. So it's going to be interesting to see what happens here defensively.
Right. So let's stick on that side of the ball for a couple seconds here because and thank you. As like I said, the wife is in the building today, so she's messaging us from right there.
We could say
So again, we are live at the West End in Quakertown as we are for every single away game. We have prizes, we have giveaways, we have great specials, including being sponsored by Bud Light. So make sure you check it out. Clink.
Dilly, dilly.
And what's that?
Dilly dilly.
Dilly dilly, Philly Philly. All right, so let's talk offense and defense. Let's really break this down. Johnny, I'm going to start with you because you tend to be the cockeyed optimist up in here. Which side of the ball are you more confident with today for the Eagles? Because we know that the Vegas Raiders, and I'm saying that intentionally because I know I struggle with it.
I always mess
We know
up.
that the Vegas Raiders have a ton of offensive weapons, including somebody that I wish the Eagles had, Henry Ruggs. I was very upset that we didn't get him 2 years ago. But which side are you more confident with?
I'm going to go with the offense with having Lane Johnson back.
Okay, yeah, we haven't even talked about that yet.
I know Vegas has really good pass rushers in Ngakoue and Max Crosby. So you're getting Mailata back at left tackle. You have Lane at right tackle. I think they can exploit the middle of the defense and be able to use Gainwell and Sanders and then use the receivers with Quez and Devontae Smith. So I feel confident with the offensive side of the ball, being able to move the ball. The defense scares me a little bit just because of the weapons that you just mentioned.
Right. I mean, between Henry Ruggs, Jacobs at running back, because we know the Eagles have struggled to stop the run this season.
Yep.
And Carr can go off at any time for a huge game. So between those three weapons, I mean, I'm very concerned about the Vegas offense against our defense, especially with Anthony Harris not playing. And we are doing this show live, so we don't get to be our usual normal level of dirty. But I would like to point out that Anthony Harris is not playing for the Philadelphia Eagles today due to, and I'm reading this right off of our official keys to the game, due to hand and groin injuries. Again, I'm going to say that again. Anthony Harris, our starting safety, is not playing due to hand and groin injuries as he is enjoying his Vegas trip maybe a little too much. So, talking about our defense against their offense, Mike, can we slow this team down?
Yes, we can. And
Okay,
here's why.
Good conversation.
I will say this. Gannon has turned it around a little bit. Since Sirianni, quote unquote, ripped him, the defense has got 7 points in the second half against Tampa Bay. Now, granted, they ran the ball a lot, but I'm actually becoming more confident in the defense right now than I am in the offense. And I think
Agreed.
in the offseason, if they get some pieces, bigger linebackers, and there's a guy on the Raiders who would actually fit this system really well. He's barely even playing like right now. His linebacker is a backup linebacker, Nick Witkowski. He formerly played for the Chicago Bears. I wanted the Eagles to sign him. The Eagles looked at him. They never offered him a contract because, get this, we don't pay linebackers in the city of Philadelphia.
I swear to goodness, if the Philadelphia Eagles do not get a real NFL linebacker within the next season, I'm going to lose my mind. I'm going to channel my inner Jeremiah. I'm going to channel my inner Takeo Spikes and just start just killing people and sacking people and running them over in the street. we need a linebacker on this team.
We do, but secondary-wise, Darius Slay, Steven Nelson, Avonte Maddox going back into the slot where he belongs. Our secondary minus safety, which safety is a concern, although having Rodney McLeod back is massive for this team. Both getting these younger guys ready to play.
Absolutely.
Obviously being on the field. Listen, they're high on Marcus Epps. I think Elijah Riley got called up.
Elijah Riley did get called up, but how is this team still on the Epps experiment?
Because
They need someone. Is Kayvon Wallace back today? I heard
he is not. They opened up his 21-day practice window, but he is not. Him and Tyree Jackson, so they can practice, but they're still not on the active roster yet.
Okay.
So he's not available, and that's why Elijah Riley was brought up from the practice squad to have that extra body with Anthony Harris not being able to play.
Elijah Riley has been protected every single week.
He has, and now he's playing.
They like him.
So let's see. Maybe there's something there. Don't forget, Rich Gann was a secondary coach. He was a defensive back coach in Indianapolis. So we'll see.
All right, so let's break it down. On the offensive side of the ball, the Eagles do get Lane Johnson back today. I feel like that's pretty important, and we haven't talked about enough already. Lane Johnson, after he missed 2 games, right? Three games. He missed 3 games.
Kansas City game was the first one.
Right. So he's missed 3 games, and we knew that getting him back was going to be important. It puts some pieces back into place with Mailata moving back to left tackle. Is that the right call? Should we be keeping Andre Dillard on the field? I mean, I know I'm asking a question that I already know the answer to for myself, but it's important as the host to share these questions. So, Johnny, should Dillard be getting the start over Mailata today?
No.
Thanks. Great. I appreciate it.
Yeah. It's pretty clear cut. No. You're not paying Mailata that money to not play.
No.
So.
Mailata is off the injury report as well, so the MCL is good to go. Healthy Mailata is your best bet at left tackle for now and the foreseeable future.
So going left to right, our offensive line today is Mailata, Dickerson,
I believe so.
Kelsey.
It should be Driscoll, in my opinion.
I think it's Driscoll.
I believe it is Driscoll.
And it should be Driscoll and then Johnson.
And then Lane Johnson. So our offensive line is back at mostly full force. Obviously, our right guards have been replaced for the season, though. Will the Eagles run the ball against the number 25 ranked rush defense in the NFL? Somebody convince me that the Eagles actually have read a scouting report.
I think the way you have to put it is we say yes until we see it. Right. We really do not know, because there's been plenty of games that the opportunity is there to run the ball with the way these teams are up against them, and they seem not to do it. The issue is it feels like some of the teams they're playing have a lot of secondary issues, and it feels like I think they just get so enamored with pass, when honestly, with this quarterback that you have in Jalen Hurts, running the ball would make it so much more beneficial for, 1, his development, and 2, to be able to work play action, to be able to work the middle of the field, be able to work deep plays, exactly, set up the offense, to maybe score some points.
I don't understand how you have a weapon like Miles Sanders. You have a really strong offensive line that likes to block, and you put Jalen Hurts back there to take 100% of the hits in an NFL game. I'm trying to figure out how the best way to phrase this. Do they like Jalen Hurts enough to protect him at all? Because he's either passing the ball and either taking a hit because he's scrambling, or he's taking a hit because of a breakdown on offensive line, or he's running the ball and taking a hit. He's taking a hit on 90% of the plays he's running as the quarterback. Do they like this guy? Do they have a grudge against him?
I mean, they clearly like him more than I do. But at the end of the day, now, in all fairness to both Nick Sirianni and Miles Sanders, some of these plays, Jalen should just be letting Miles have the ball.
Correct.
Because here's the thing. As the quarterback, you need to know that the most important thing you could do for your team is to be on the field.
Absolutely.
If you're constantly getting hit, you're not going to be on the field.
No.
There was a touchdown, I believe, against Tampa Bay where Jalen Hurts ran it in. Miles Sanders would have had that touchdown too. Let your running back run the ball. Run the ball if you absolutely have to. And Nick Sirianni, I know in the preseason said, we don't run plays that Jalen Hurts doesn't want to play. To me,
he did say that.
That is a sign of weakness as a coach. Here's the thing. My boss doesn't let me only do things at work that I want to do.
He should.
That's not how it works. So there's going to be times where, Jalen, you need to get under center. Jalen, you need to do this. Well, I don't like doing that. Look, just try it. Just trust me. Just try it. So Is this a match made in heaven? I don't know.
So let me ask you this, because Javier in week 7 is trying to start a little drama, and I'm here for it. Javier would like to know, does Hurts calling plays away from the run just to run it himself? Basically, is Jalen Hurts trying to do too much to guarantee himself a job moving forward? And will it lead to an issue between him and Miles Sanders? Johnny, break up this high school drama question. I love it.
I think Hurts is, I think at some points, and you can see it in the games, he's trying to do too much. He wants to, of course, as a quarterback, you want to make plays, you want to be, put points on the board and everything. But when you're trying to do way too much, when there are opportunities in front of you, and there are many missed receivers that you're seeing, there's certain balls that have to be thrown a lot quicker than they are, holding on the ball a little bit too long. I think he's just maybe pressing a little bit to try and do way too much. And he's got to kind of dial it back a little bit. That's what I would say. I'd like to see him succeed. I'd like to see him, be a quarterback for the future. But again, he's got to take those steps and got to see these guys when they're open and be able to take these shots a lot quicker than what he has been doing for the offense.
Agreed. Same question. We're looking for drama here.
I think it's happening. Is he trying too much to keep his job? Yeah, I think so. And I think that could lead to him losing it, possibly.
I agree.
The best thing that you can do is go out there and just do exactly what the coaches want you to do. And if you're their guy, you're going to be their guy. If not, you're going to have a job somewhere. He's good enough where as long as he's healthy and not, retired, he's going to have a job as an NFL quarterback. It might not be a starter, but he's always going to have a job.
All right. So we're
in the XFL.
In the XFL. That's our first XFL reference
Coming
here
back
at the
in
West End.
2023.
Again, we are live at the West End. We do this for every single away game,
Come hang out.
including next weekend, which is Halloween. So I don't know what spooky costumes we're going to put together.
Delusional Eagles fans.
We're going to all dress up as Lombardi trophies, and just somebody will be a net trying to catch us.
I'm just gonna. I don't think we should dress up as Lombardi trophies because that may not look the best.
That's true.
Oh, I see what you're saying there. Again, Anthony Harris not playing today due to hand and groin injuries. So moving on there. Key player of today's game. Who is the one player? And I just want to put it out there. This is a very winnable Eagles game. We are coming off of a game where we played the Super Bowl champions. We all sat here knowing that the Philadelphia Eagles were not going to win that game. And I know, Johnny, you spoke it into existence and you were hopeful.
Yeah, but I picked Tampa Bay. So.
But you picked Tampa Bay. Even my wife.
Actually, my score was the closest out of all of us.
There you go. Even my wife, who never picks against the Eagles, picked Tampa Bay in that game. So this is not that. This is a game that is very winnable. The Raiders are a team that are having some coaching concerns due to, I'm going to phrase it that way. Again, this is the family version of today's show because of some choices made by former head coach John Gruden. So this is now the second game of the new regime. Do they still have the rah-rah ability? This is a winnable game. So who is the key player, Johnny, that the Eagles need to step up to win this game in Vegas today against the Raiders?
So the Raiders are also coming off of last week's win was so emotional.
The rah-rah, right? The rah-rah win.
So what happens after you have an emotional win like that? Sometimes you do have a letdown. But one player that I could say would be a key, someone we did already mention, is Dallas Goddard, because the Raiders do give up the highest catch percentage to tight ends in the league. So you're able to exploit their defense with Goddard. So I feel that Dallas Goddard can be a big-time key player in this game. Of course, Miles Sanders too, but he's definitely.
So Dallas Goddard needs to play like the number one tight end he has been anointed as.
Yes.
Okay, Mike. Same question. Who is the one player that the Eagles need desperately to step up today for a win in Vegas?
It's gonna sound weird.
Did somebody just scream out Zach Ertz needs to be the guy? So again, you need somebody in a red Arizona Cardinal outfit, costume as my wife calls them, to be the best on the Eagles. That's good stuff.
Sir, I wanted the Eagles to trade Dallas Goddard.
Agreed.
And not Zach Ertz.
Agreed.
Could have gotten more. So I'm going to assume, and this is based on assumption, that TJ Edwards is the starting middle linebacker for the Eagles today. He's going to be the guy. Josh Jacobs is a load to bring down. He doesn't do much in the receiving game because they have Kenyon Drake there. But if they can stifle the Raiders' rushing game with Darren Waller out, that secondary should have a field day, no Harris or not. And I think they should be able to shut the Raiders down. And let's get some pressure. By the way, the Raiders' offensive line isn't great.
Nope.
No.
And if Javon Hargrave is not double teamed, if they're double teaming Fletcher Cox, it'd be a long day for
Their
Derek
weakest
Carr.
point is Andre James, their center.
Right. And we talked about this on our Wednesday night show, and we had Phil Jones from
He was great, by the
he
way.
was fantastic, but from I'm going to say Raider Nation. As he mentioned, there's been a lot of shuffling around on the offensive line. Johnny, do you want to talk about that a little bit? Talk about the moves that the offensive line for the Raiders have made to try to keep their quarterback safe.
So the Raiders' offensive line, their interior is their weakest point. They did move Alex Leatherwood to right guard.
Great name, by the way.
Yeah.
Great name. That's actually why Anthony Harris is out.
And there he goes. But you're moving Leatherwood to right guard, which is where he fits best. At right tackle, he was a little bit out of place there.
Yep.
So Brandon Parker is now the right tackle for them. He played well last week, but Andre James is their weak point, and then John Simpson at left guard. Those two guys are their biggest weak point on their offensive line. And then Colton Miller's their left tackle. He's a solid player. But you can attack the middle of that offensive line. Yeah, Leatherwood is still a rookie though, so you have Cox and you have Hargrave. You should be able to get some pressure up the middle, and that's going to help you because Derek Carr has a very quick release. So you're not going to. And the thing is,
He does, and that's important. Is that our
Eagles don't blitz though, so that's not going to matter.
we don't blitz, and our defensive line has got to get pressure on Derek Carr, who likes the slants, he likes the quick releases, and he's got a running back that you have to account for at all times. So I think there is definitely a mismatch here between the defense and the offense. With the Eagles defense, look, they do some things well, but we haven't been able to stop the run well, and needing to stop Josh Jacobs today, Carr very likely will be able to pick this team apart.
He could. I also want to say, if you're not watching the earlier game slate, I just looked over. Sam Darnold has been replaced by P.J. Walker.
That's outstanding, minus the fact that means the Giants are winning.
P.J. Walker, former Temple grad, former Temple alum, XFL star. So I love P.J. Walker. Sorry, I just wanted to bring that up.
No. That's fine. I'm upset that the Giants are going to win a game.
Don't worry, there's still time.
Yeah, I know. My answer to the same question, I would love to say that Miles Sanders is the player that we need to have a huge game from, but considering the Eagles don't utilize him, it's got to be Jalen Hurts. Jalen Hurts, once again, is going to have to single-handedly carry this team to a victory, and that's not really what he's going to do well. He needs to be more of a game manager, but because that's the offense that Sirianni is going to call, it's going to turn into a lot of hero ball with Jalen Hurts, and therefore he's going to have to play at a superior level in order to lead this team to a victory.
Yeah, he should be able to. He went to Alabama and Oklahoma. He should be pro-ready. He should be more pro-ready than a guy that went to North Dakota State. But here we are, and Johnny said the former guy used to play hero ball a lot.
The former guy.
Well, I know I can't say his name.
We don't say his name, although I'm
did.
really annoyed that the former guy is kind of hitting his stride again.
But, Jalen's playing hero ball too, and I would love to see him calm down and just get out of his own head. He's way too much in his own head. And, the thing is, too, I see a guy get in his face. He rolls right, and he scrambles, and he looks legitimately lost. I see a quarterback that has no confidence in himself, in his offensive play calling. He stands there on the sideline, and he looks lost. And when I see that as an Eagles fan, I look at the TV and I say something I'm not going to say out loud right now. I will say that apparently Anthony Harris has a quick release as well. He's out
wow. Okay. All right. Again, the family show is just going right off the rails. Luckily, it's going above my kids' heads.
They got their tablets out there.
Yeah, no, I think the thing is that Jalen Hurts is a good quarterback. The problem is he's being asked to do way too much. And I've made this point. I think Sirianni is becoming a problem.
Thank you.
Sirianni is already becoming a problem because you cannot expect a quarterback like Jalen Hurts, who is not a 50 throw per game quarterback. Let me say that again. Jalen Hurts is not a 50 throw per game quarterback. But they're calling 50 pass plays per game, or they're calling the RPOs. Nick Sirianni has got to change things and just start calling legitimate run plays. Just call run plays. Stop with this run pass option stuff, because it's very clear after 6 weeks that Jalen Hurts is going to option into the pass play. That's what he's going to do. So call a run play.
The option or the solution to this is in-house. Shane Steichen, who's the offensive coordinator for Justin Herbert last year. Let him call plays.
The other thing is Vegas doesn't blitz. So they're going to have a lot of guys
sitting back waiting for the ball to get thrown.
Exactly. So what do?
You run the ball.
Run the ball. Run the ball.
All right, so let's play this fun game. Let's play this fun game. Over under touches, carries. I'm going to change that. Carries for Miles Sanders. And I'm going to set the number at 10. Miles Sanders over under 10 rushes with the ball.
Ooh. It's got to be over. You have to have.
Okay,
game,
but again, you're saying this as a fan. I'm saying as the official podcaster here. Over under 10 carries. As by the way, Patrick Mahomes just got absolutely taken out in the Chiefs Titans game. He might miss some time for my fantasy people, as I have him on my team. Yeah, we're going to talk about fantasy in a second. So Johnny, over under 10 carries for Miles Sanders.
I'm going to say it's going to be over. Over. Now, if it's 11, it's still over.
It is still over for 11. Mike?
I'm taking over as well.
Okay.
You know, we did see Nick Sirianni say this week, we got to get Miles involved. I'm hoping he puts his money where his mouth is, because you know what? He could be the next Mike Tomzula.
I don't see him being one and done, because there is a loyalty to coaches in this organization that is faulty.
Is there? They fired a guy that gave you a Super Bowl.
They did, but it was after a massive drop-off. It was a massive drop-off. They still brought him back.
Because of the front office
Correct.
not replenishing the roster. And you know what? Doug probably said that, but Puppet Boy Howie Roseman was like, oh, no, Jeff, I'm the best general manager of all time.
If you're going to do the Howie voice, you have to basically change your voice like this. This is the Howie Roseman
Bring in
voice.
Scott Pioli. Please.
Bring in anybody. Bring in my 7-year-old. That guy's got a cool name. He's the next player. I'm going to actually take the under. I'm going to take under 10 carries for Miles Sanders, because at this point, nothing else has happened to see that it's going to be anything different. So I'm going to set the number 7 or 8 carries for Miles Sanders today. Speaking of fantasy, because I have both Patrick Mahomes on my fantasy team, so that's about to take a hit. And I also have Miles Sanders on my fantasy teams, and obviously that's taking hits.
Best of luck.
And I refuse to put him on the bench, because at some point they're going to give him 11 carries, and that might be today. Mike, talk to us about fantasy, and it could be anywhere in the league. Obviously, the 1 o'clock games are going. Adam says under 7. Adam, you could have just shouted that. You are right there. I see you. Hi, Adam. Under 7. So he just Bob Barkered me. I said 8. He went 7.
$1, Bob.
$1, Bob.
$1, Bob.
Mike, fantasy minute. The obviously the 4 o'clock games and the 8 o'clock games and the Monday night games. What are we looking for here?
I will say, if you do have Patrick Mahomes, Chad Henne is going to be your pickup. If you want to stay with the Kansas City offense, obviously, Chad Henne does play well. Some of these later games, you know, I'm not really feeling anything. Most of your lineups are already set.
True story.
But if you want to put a DFS lineup together, you know, we'll take it from this game. I wouldn't be afraid of playing Kenyon Drake. He's going to be cheap on DraftKings. I would plug in a showdown captain lineup with Foster Moreau as your showdown captain, because Darren Waller is out. So I would have actually probably already done that, but obviously we can't worry about that now. This game, I also like Henry Ruggs. He's a deep threat. I think he can get behind
I agree.
the Eagles defense, even though Darius Slay probably will be on him most of the game. Henry Ruggs is a lot faster. And you know what? I'm not going to lie. I like the Indianapolis quarterback against the San Francisco 49ers. I do believe that the 49ers defense is a little bit overrated. And Jimmy Garoppolo is back as well.
I have him saved in storage. I have him playing on my double quarterback league.
Fire up Deebo Samuel.
Ooh. Really?
Oh, yeah. Dude, apparently Shanahan hates Brandon Ayuk. Deebo Samuel, he's doing it. Well, look, I mean, I don't understand it. Like, the guy, 85% of the team's offense last year, and now it's just like, yeah, you can go. He's like the next Dante Pettis out there.
I feel a nice rant coming in your Dynasty Decisions episode soon.
It's going to be good stuff.
I have ranted enough about Kyle Shanahan. I'm done with him.
There's certain coaches that somehow have hold. Look, Shanahan was a Super Bowl appearing coach
twice
with
the Falcons as well.
So I mean, you got to give him credit where credit is due. We just, right now it's not ideal.
Look at why he lost the Super Bowl as the Falcons offensive coordinator. He stopped running the ball. In all fairness, Tevin Coleman got hurt. Tevin Coleman was the lead back for the Falcons that year. Devonta Freeman was not as good of a pass blocker.
Right.
But then they should have been running the ball with Devonta Freeman instead of asking him to pass block. That sounds crazy.
Right. And Javier, I agree. We're going to end up, living or dying with Miles Sanders today, simply because the bye weeks have started. So you don't really have much of a choice.
Yeah.
But there we are. All right. So we're approaching a solid point in the show. Because we didn't let you rant about the dynasty stuff, Mike, I'm going to say a name here. And I want to know your thoughts on this name because we haven't talked about it, mostly because the statistics haven't shown up. Mike, what are your thoughts on a one Ryan Kerrigan?
Well, right now, Ryan Kerrigan is getting paid $1 million per tackle.
Let's pause you right there for a second. Ryan Kerrigan is getting paid $1 million per tackle.
So his salary for the year is $1.075 million. He has one tackle.
And that was very recently. So before he was getting paid $1 million for nothing.
This is true. I just want to say that one tackle, Chuba Hubbard fell and he tagged him down.
It counts.
Howie.
It counts.
I can do that for less than $1 million.
I can do that.
I just want to throw that out there. There are defensive linemen who are free agents right now who are going to give you more production than Ryan Kerrigan for less money. I guess Bo Allen is a free agent right now. Former Eagle Bo Allen.
Bo Allen plays D tackle.
True. But,
which is not a weakness on our team right now.
Well, if there's an injury or
then it's a weakness on our team.
Fletcher Cox gets traded, which has been the subject of thought.
Sure.
Milton Williams could slide out to defensive end. He's been playing there. He could take over Ryan Kerrigan snaps, and then you have another defensive lineman, interior defensive lineman.
And you mentioned sliding out again. Anthony Harris not playing due to injuries due to his hands and groin. We're just going to turn all the jokes.
Your kids aren't even listening.
Yeah, they're not. And you know what's funny? I see my buddy Dan over here, Dan Simmerman.
What's up, Dan?
We're talking about being able to make tackles for no qualifications. I played enough Thanksgiving football with Dan. You can hire this guy right now, and he will give you the same output as Ryan Kerrigan for exactly less money. Not anymore. Not any more money.
He still got it. Come on.
Dan still got it. He's over here dressed in his, I want to say his softball attire. His over 35 league. I'll look for my invite in the mail. I'm going to go snail mail on that. I've also played baseball with Dan for many years.
I thought he said he went over 35. I'd be like, man, you could join the Phillies.
Yeah, you can. They're looking for players. All right, so we've talked about the play calling. We've talked about Jalen Hurts. At this point, we have a game today against a first-place Raiders team. Again, a winnable game against a first-place Raiders team.
Correct.
But my question is this. If you lose today, you have the Lions next week, which I feel confident should be a win. I feel confident the Lions game should be a win. If the Eagles win today, great, cool. But if they lose, do you consider this a lost season with the trade deadline just a couple of days away? Do you consider this a lost season? And you start to trade players like Fletcher Cox, Andre Dillard, Steven Nelson. I mean, a lot of these guys you can get something for. At what point does this become a lost season? I'm going to start with Johnny.
If you look at the NFC, there's 5 teams right now that are shoo-ins. They're going to make the playoffs. We know that. The last 2 spots are grouped between 6 and 7 teams who are anywhere from 1-5, 2-4, 3-3. The thing is, you lose this week. Look at the schedule you have. You have the Lions. Yeah, the Chargers are a tough team, but they are coming to the East Coast. You still have to play the Giants twice, Washington twice. It's still set up that you can still make a run. It's not lost yet.
But make a run for what? That's my question. What are you making a run for? Because you're not winning the NFC East this year. Dallas is far and away the best team in the NFC East. So what are you making a run for?
Hey, you try and get in the playoffs. That's what you play the game. You try to get in. You're not playing to lose.
I understand that. I'm not saying that. I'm not saying that you're playing to lose, but I'm saying at what point do you start to go, okay, let's get some draft capital for these guys because even this season's not going to be it.
The problem is, who says they still don't do that, and yet they are still successful down the road?
By trading some of their best players.
But are they really helping you win right now?
Okay.
The thing about it is, yes, you'd like to see some of these guys get something back. There's only a small handful of guys that I could possibly see to get something back. That makes sense. Otherwise, yeah, I'll see some of these young players play. We said it last year when they were struggling that we want to see these young guys play. We really didn't get to see them. So I feel if you keep losing, get these young. But the schedule is set up for you to win some games.
Agreed. We definitely front loaded our schedule with some tougher games. And now we're in the coasting portion of it. It's my wife actually commented here. She goes, she doesn't consider it a lost season. The Raiders are first in their division, But if we lose to the Lions, she's going to consider it a lost season. So that's interesting from somebody who's possibly more optimistic than you, Johnny.
Wow.
Yeah, and that's saying something, right? Everything is sunshine and rainbows. Mike, same question. At what point do you consider this a lost season and you start shredding assets?
Yeah, I mean, well, here's the thing. They need to consider whether or not it's a lost season like now.
Like in this week,
Yeah,
basically, this is the game.
Trade deadline's, I believe, 8 or 9 days away.
Right.
So they need to make that decision right away. Apparently, the phone is ringing off the hook for Andre Dillard.
The phone has been ringing all. And again, I did say this in the preseason.
Somebody wants to trade for Andre Dillard. Maybe my phone.
Oh, right on your phone. Nice. Yeah, and this was said. The more tape that was on Andre Dillard. Now, my response was the more tape that's on Andre Dillard, the less likely it is that we're actually going to be able to trade him. Apparently, it's the other way around. He put some good stuff on tape these past couple weeks, and now the phone has been ringing off the hook as teams start to lose their tackles.
They're actually okay at backup tackle. They have LaRaven Clark. He's on the practice squad. He was on practice squad IR, which is a thing, apparently.
Good stuff.
Jack Driscoll is a guy that they really think highly of. He was a 4th-round draft pick out of Auburn last year.
He knows every position, too. I think he's been doing a pretty good job consistently.
He can play everything but
Anthony
center.
Harris
Everything but center, and Dickerson's the other.
Anthony Harris does too.
Anthony Harris is. We have to stop. We got to stop, my friends. We're making dirty jokes about Anthony Harris. Again, Anthony Harris not playing today due to injuries to both his hands and his groin. So
they do have some good offensive line depth. I would like, if they're going to make moves, Dillard is the guy that I would see them move first. You know that there's going to be a competitive team. Like maybe, I don't know, maybe the Rams want to pair Fletcher Cox with Aaron Darnold.
Maybe the Bears when Jason Peters trips over the sidewalk.
Maybe. But, some of these aging guys, you want to kind of shed their contract. I mean, they are first in the league in dead cap, too. So that's something that's got to be figured out quick.
Yeah. Right. Wait, Javier, no. Dillard is not playing because Javier, I see what you're saying. You want to mention again that Anthony Harris is not playing due to injuries to his hands and groin on his Vegas field trip.
Because apparently what happens in Vegas doesn't stay in Vegas.
Well, no, it's going to stay in Vegas on the injury report. So I'm curious to know. And yes, Jay, I do see your comments rolling in, your Raider Nation and Raiders.
Really, man?
I put it up there because, we're equal opportunity podcasters.
Nice.
But this is a winnable game for the Eagles. So as we approach the last couple minutes of the show, we're going to do a couple of things here. We're going to talk about our game predictions, our Uleka locks, and our final thoughts. Now, we did do our Uleka. Yes, Jay, we did mention this, that Darren Waller is out, which is very helpful for the Eagles, not so helpful for the Raiders. And as my wife said, the Raiders costumes are ugly. So
I think they're pretty clean.
They're iconic. But
she's wearing Raiders colors.
This is true.
She's not. She's wearing her Costume Mentality shirt, which you can find in the All About the Birds shop. At the Costume Mentality shop. So we all put together our picks, our Uleka locks, at least on Wednesday. So, Johnny, did you bring that scrap of paper?
I did.
Okay.
I did not forget.
Could you go over your Uleka lock? I know I'm wrong based on the first game. So you can do mine first because my prediction was a two-parter.
Yeah. So yours was if Carolina beat the Giants by a significant amount, which, as I can see right now,
is not happening.
They are losing, or they are winning.
The Giants are winning by a significant amount, 25-3.
And then Joe Judge gets canned. That's not going to happen.
Yeah. So Joe Judge will not be getting fired this week. So I am incorrect on my Uleka lock, and that's okay.
Fired first. Yeah. That's the way I see it.
True.
Mine was Deshaun Watson will be traded by the next time we go, basically by the end of this weekend. I don't think it's not by the end of the weekend, but possibly the Dolphins are the front runners. So we'll see if that happens.
Yeah, Tua did not look outstanding today as he just threw a nice little, completion to the sideline there. I've never been impressed by Tua. I've never been impressed really by Jalen Hurts as a quarterback. As an athlete, it's something different. But the Alabama quarterbacks, they don't have to be great because the wide receivers and the running backs are so good.
Now, we'll get to Mike's because Mike's is correct.
Mike's is correct.
Case Keenum beating Denver and Tennessee beating Kansas City. 2 for 2.
Wow. Good job, Mike.
And I give fantasy advice too, everybody.
And you give fantasy advice every week, so that's good stuff. So now it's time for the official Eagles and Raiders predictions. And Jay, I'm going to put this up and I'm going to hide it real quick. Jay out in the Facebook world says 21-10 Raiders, just win, baby. Great, done. Okay.
Can I play the sound drop?
You can. What do you got?
I think you probably heard it on the.
I hope you heard it on the interweb.
Sorry.
You need. Oh, Melissa, I'm sorry. You need a live feed to the game. It's not showing in my area. Help. I'm going to say change your zip code on your phone and then go on Hulu, and maybe you'll be able to watch it on your phone.
Jailbreak your Fire Stick.
Jailbreak your Fire Stick. There you go. And Javier, I agree that Tua just looks weird. Hey, I'm a lefty, so that's not cool. So is Tim Tebow. So was Steve Young, but he's just not a strong arm.
Did you put Tim Tebow in the same
I was just naming left-handed quarterbacks. That was all. I was just naming left-handed quarterbacks.
I heard that correctly.
I was just naming left-handed quarterbacks. And the backfield's going to look the same way it always does. Bored because they don't get to run the ball. So time for the official predictions. Johnny, you are writing furiously over there. Do we want to save you for last? Because I know you're picking the Eagles.
You can save me for last. I'm going to write everyone.
I'm going to save you for last. So, Mike, your official Eagles Raiders prediction for today, and why?
Okay. Darren Waller is out. Eagles win 24-21. I think that is going to be the big thorn in the sign for the Las Vegas Raiders. The last time they came off an emotional victory and the Eagles came to town, Nick Foles threw 7 touchdowns. I am not saying that we're going to throw 7 touchdowns.
7.
I'm just saying that we're going to be effective enough to win the game. And as you guys know, I have not been picking the Eagles.
You have not. You have not been picking the Eagles.
So I'm actually feeling pretty good today. Go Birds.
Notice how I did the Friends 777. Again, Anthony Harris is not playing today due to a hand and groin injury, so he was practicing his 777 as well. All right, I love the picks that are rolling in. Javier says 24-21. Martin says the Raiders are going to take it 27-24. And Renfro from Jay is a secret weapon.
Not against Avonte Maddox.
But not. So you're saying that Avonte Maddox in the slot is good enough to stop Hunter Renfro?
Yeah, Hunter Renfro was a mid-round draft pick. He was a guy that played at Clemson. And here's the thing. Hunter Renfro is a really good wide receiver. I'm going to say that. But Avonte Maddox has been playing out of his mind in his natural position, which is a slot defensive back. And by the way, I think Avonte Maddox gets extended as well because you're not going to find a better free agent or a better guy in the draft than what you have right now in Avonte Maddox.
He's only 25 also.
He's under 25, and he's constantly getting better and learning.
He is.
The wife chimes in 24-21 Eagles, which means it's time for my official pick. I am going to trust that Nick Sirianni will find a way to screw up this game. I'm going to trust that Jalen Hurts is going to be forced to do more than he is capable of doing. I am going to trust that Miles Sanders is not going to be given enough opportunities to be a game changer. And I'm going to trust that Dallas Goddard is going to be underutilized as they are constantly trying to just throw it and throw it to Devontae Smith, even when he is not open. I am picking the very offensive juggernauted Raiders today, 31-28, and I wish I wasn't, but I just don't see a way that we stop all of the Raiders' offensive weapons without also shooting ourselves in the foot when we are on offense. I am going 31-28 Raiders. Johnny, make people happy.
All right, so I think the Eagles are going to be able to exploit the Raiders defensively. I think they're going to be able to run the ball. I think defensively, they're going to be able to get pressure up the middle on Derek Carr. They're going to force, I'm going to say 2 turnovers. And I'm going to go Eagles get the victory 27-20.
27-20. So a solid 7-point victory. We're not as stressed. And yes, Javier, I agree. I'm very pessimistic about this, only because I haven't seen anything otherwise to think that this team is capable of not getting in their own way. So we have a Eagles prediction. Myself, I am picking the Raiders. And we got Johnny wrapping it up with an Eagles prediction for the victory. And Adam, who's usually pretty decent, is saying 27-24 Eagles.
I'll take that.
I'll take that as well. So with that, we here are at All About the Birds. We're going to wrap things up. Again, we want to thank you for tuning in. If you are actually in the West End, don't go anywhere. We are going to be giving away some prizes based off some Eagles trivia in just a couple of minutes. So again, we are we do this every single away game, so make sure you are coming out. Next week is an away game. It is Halloween. We will be live around noon for the Eagles-Lions game, which I am already picking an Eagles win in the Eagles-Lions game. We're going to save that segment for our portion of the show, but I'm already picking an Eagles-Lions victory. So make sure you're checking that out. And as always, make sure you are tuning in, liking, subscribing, sharing all of the great programming here on the AAT Sports Network. That's all authentic talk. Shout out to Jenna Bauer. That's Mike's wife and my college friend. I don't know which one's more important, though.
College friend.
Probably college friend.
Sure.
Thank you all for tuning in. And tomorrow night, the only thing I'm going to tell you is I'm not sure what time I'm going live. I got to talk to the boys about it, but I'm now teaching a college class until 9. So Monday nights might look a little different. I'll let you know on the interwebs. As we end every show here on the All About the Birds and the AAT Sports Network, we end it with a very positive and happy Go Birds.
Go Birds.
And we'll see you in the postgame. See ya.